is the ability for you to cross that bridge that we do every day. You can meet the masters of the past and ask them questions. You can meet yourself, your past lives, and ask questions. You can meet the core of the loved ones and ask them all the things you'd like to. You can have gifts presented to you. You can have healings. And there's something else. You can meet someone that's very, very important. And that someone I will reveal later in the Circle of 12. That's just to say, for those of you who are not members of the Circle of 12 and listening to that you can do anything. In this soul energy is pure healing. In this soul energy is everything you ever were or ever will be. And you can touch that. You can sit within it like a bubble of peace that was mentioned before. Dear ones, I want you to understand that the miracles you believe are miracles may not be miracles. They may be what you've always been able to do. They may seem like miracles to others, only because they have been told these things are not possible. And they are. I want you to understand that this soul energy can be used in other ways as well. You don't have to cross that bridge. You don't have to go into a visualization. You can drop within your heart instantly and be in that beautiful theater that all of you know about. And you can just sit there and be loved. Because you transfer that which is your consciousness into the field of your soul. And suddenly, you're in this beautiful bubble, and you know it. And you want to sustain it as long as you can, like the gurus in India, in their profound meditations. And it can go on as long as you want to, and sometimes time is removed in those areas. This is what you can do every single day. Drop into your heart, feel that bubble of peace within you, and know that you are in your soul energy, and you don't have to do anything. You don't have to meet anybody. But it will soothe you. And you will be in touch at that moment with your core energy, and you will feel peace and compassion and love in times where you really need it. These are troubling times for many. And our information is always the same. That you don't have to be part of it, dear ones. And you can remove yourself to such a degree that the frustrations will not be frustrating. And you can be peaceful and walk through these times with a light that others will see in you. And they may even ask you what you got. That's the truth of today. Hidden in plain sight is a beautiful, beautiful ability to take care of yourself in a way perhaps that's new to you. I'm Kryon in love with all of you. With all of you. And so it is.
And with the beautiful energies still swirling around, I will now ask you, if you've had your eyes closed, please open your eyes and gently bring your awareness back into your body, back into the room. What a beautiful message that was from Kryon. So loving, so hopeful, so magnificent. And it's the perfect energy to now welcome our next guest to the program. Bob Huttinger will be joining us. And let's just make sure that Bob is here with us now. Bob, are you there?
Hi, yeah, I'm here.
Wonderful. So if you don't know who Bob is, you're in for an absolute treat. Lee and I know Bob personally, and we want to tell you all about him.
Well, Bob Huttinga has been a certified physician assistant for 45 years. Did you get that one? 45 years. Also a certified natural health practitioner who still makes house calls. That's amazing. He was featured on our very first Healing Wednesday premiere in August 2020, which is a separate product, by the way, still available on our Kryon Masters website. He is also a former Kryon seminar host in Michigan, and he is, are you ready, the man I go to for advice on homeopathy remedies. Bob practices traditional medicine with drugs and surgery, as well as alternate medicine with nutrition, herbs, essential oils, and clinical homeopathy.
Now, Bob has authored 2 books. Not only is he a busy doctor and helping people, he's had time to write books. How amazing. The first book, Put Your Health in Your Own Hands. Isn't that a great title for a book? The second one, A Shortcut to Success, Your Prescription for Success in Relationships, Career, Money and Health. And believe it or not, he's actually writing a 3rd book, and I'm already excited just because of the title, which is Becoming God's Apprentice. Well, sign me up. I definitely want to be one of God's apprentices. Now, in addition, he has produced 2 courses that you can do online. Why Settle for Average and Be Amazing. And the other one is the School for Psychics. So most recently, he has created a homeopathic treatment for COVID. And what's extraordinary about that is that a person can even make it in their own home. He's created a treatment protocol. It's designed to keep you out of the hospital and help the long-haul symptoms of this infection.
His current passion is helping people manage the components of this pandemic. Thank you. And he has a great desire to help people manifest their ideal outcomes. So, Bob, welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show. It's great to see you.
Thank you very much. It's definitely a pleasure to be here and to share this information with you.
Tell us, we want to know. We're going to turn you loose. I know you've got a lot to say because you're helping people on a regular basis, especially with COVID. So I'm going to let you talk and show and tell.
Okay. Well, let me just start by sharing my screen. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So let me begin by just saying thanks to Lee and Monica for putting this program together. This has been really very beneficial to Barb and I over the last year, and we have many of our friends and associates who are listening to the Healing Circle of 12. Today I'm going to share with you some important concepts for the treatment of COVID. We've treated about 500 people, most of them very successfully. We've only had about a dozen have to go to the hospital. Nobody has passed away, so that's pretty amazing. And I'm going to talk about co-creation. How can we fix our world? This is a big, big question. And you're going to learn how to fix your own world. That's actually the most important. So let's begin with what we call the pathophysiology of COVID. This is what happens. The infection, mostly airborne, it can enter the digestive system and also the nervous system. The virus invades the cells. The immune system reacts to that. And one of the things that can occur, does not occur in everyone, but microscopic blood clots can form in the airways and in the microcirculation, capillaries. I talked to a pathologist in New York City. This was in May of 2020, and she said that every autopsy she had done on a COVID patient showed that they had these thin sheets of fibrin or blood clot material in their airways. So we've developed some techniques to deal with that. The virus is typically gone in about 5 to 10 days, and then these blood clots that are there begin to turn into scar tissue. And so this is kind of like a tornado. The tornado doesn't last long, but it leaves a lot of damage behind. So early treatment is prevention, and we are recommending ivermectin 12 milligrams per week, and that is based on this graphic. I find this to be extremely beneficial. In Africa, ivermectin has been used for decades to treat a parasite that causes river blindness. And the statistics show that the countries that have been using ivermectin, so these countries in blue, for the river blindness, have had almost no deaths from COVID. But the countries in brown here have had the same kind of spikes that we've seen in the other countries around the world. So if you look at this line compared to this line, it's really quite amazing. So this is what we're recommending. Now in Michigan, the governor has said she's going to shut down a pharmacy if they fill the prescription. So we can write it, but they can't fill it. But we've been able to get around that some, and so we are able to get ivermectin for people. So we put together a video about a year ago, and you can find that video at bobhutt.com. That's a website. And the video shows you how to make your own remedy. Now, this remedy is called a nosode, and it's made from the nasal secretions of a sick person. Nosodes have been used in homeopathy for a long time, very successfully. Now, important thing is to prevent blood clots from forming. So one of the things you want to do is buy a pulse oximeter, and if you see an oxygen level below 95, there's a pretty good chance that you've got some blood clots there. But taking aspirin a day, or if you don't care for aspirin or traditional medicines, vitamin E 400 units and omega-3 oil like flaxseed oil or fish oil will do the same thing. And then we're using these natural remedies to dissolve blood clots that are there. And we're recommending that you start these as soon as you have symptoms. And so if blood clots do form, they get dissolved right away. Nattokinase is an enzyme. And if you take it with food, it's just going to digest that food. And it's going to get used up and not be able to be absorbed into the blood and dissolve the blood clots. And then the second thing is a homeopathic called lachesis. The potency is 6C, and this is made from snake venom. And being a low potency remedy, this has the ability to digest fibrin or break up these blood clots. So the most important part of this is you need to envision yourself in perfect health. Perfect health, not healing or being healed, but in perfect health. Now, what about the long-term side effects? We're seeing lots of people having continued coughs, continued fatigue, brain fog. We're seeing people with ADD-like symptoms, very strange. Mostly these things come from scar tissue that's formed because of the blood clots. So just think about this. What happens if you cut your finger? Well, it bleeds, but after a while the bleeding stops. It stops because fibrin has plugged up the little blood vessels, and that fibrin actually becomes part of the scab. And eventually it becomes part of the scar tissue if you're a scar former. So in some individuals, they automatically are going to form scar tissue. And here's how we treat that. Selenium is a mineral. 200 micrograms a day is the maximum. If you're taking other mineral compounds, you need to kind of look at the total of what you're getting. Boron in the form of calcium fructoborate. We use that form because it's very absorbable into the system, and you need 240 milligrams per day. And the third thing is a homeopathic thios, Thios, 1 pellet sublingually twice a day. Now, we've been using this for many years for scar tissue, for people that have keloids, people that have abdominal adhesions, things like that, very successfully. And so usually 1 month of these three compounds these three items will take care of all of those post-COVID symptoms. Occasionally people have to do a little bit more. And how long? 1 month or maybe 2 months. In most cases, just 1 month. So how about reducing the effects of these injections that people have been getting? Do the things listed below for approximately 1 month. These are all found on our website, so you don't have to take notes here. You can find those on that website. So the first thing is apple pectin powder, 1/4 teaspoon twice a day. This kind of acts like kitty litter, and it binds certain foreign toxins. The next is NAC, that's an abbreviation for N-acetylcysteine, 600 to 750 milligram per day. That helps your body produce glutathione,